can't do anything with this.
Why not?
I need production value.
Well, what kind of production value did you have in mind for no money?
There's only one thing that adds real production value.
What's that?
Tits and ass.
Damn. Tits and ass.
You're listening to League Podcast, League versus Tapeheads. I'm Matt Dursin, and am I crying?
No.
Okay.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if you were. I'm John Hunt. You boys buying?
Play Dick Slammer Inferno here.
Dick Slammer. Was that another one of your stage names? Have we already...
It's a stage name in the movie Tapeheads.
Oh. Who was Dick Slammer in Tapeheads? Is that the guy from the
metal
Blender Children?
Yeah, the metal band.
The guy who looks like exactly like Alice Cooper?
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to go over a little bit better than it did for some Tapeheads
Clay.
fan, and I've never seen it really, except for that one. I was like, that's a good name to use.
That is a good name. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Al, Weird Clay, Al Inferno here, I guess.
All right.
Gilbert and Gottfried here.
We are doing this movie because it was always a favorite of John and I because it was produced by Mike Nesmith from the Monkees fame. So go back and listen to our Mike Nesmith episode that we did.
One episode.
Well,
the Monkees.
When he died, we did a Mike Nesmith episode as well. The day he died. But also, we did a Monkees album, and we were planning to do more, and
then we didn't.
We're still planning.
4 years later.
We started talking apes, and then we put that.
Yeah, we did one of those too. Well, we're gonna get back to all these things, but this is a pretty funny movie to me. But it's also got a lot of musicians and stuff in it. As you mentioned, Clay.
There are so many. There's so many people, like famous musicians and people in this that are just playing small parts. It's like impossible to name them all. Well, not impossible.
Not impossible, but we're not going to do it. But Ted Nugent is in it. Jello Biafra. And this, I did not know this until I just did the research a couple days ago. Courtney Love is the woman spanking Norman Mart.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who she was. Yeah.
In the video. And when you she's on screen for like 2 seconds, but when you look, you're like, oh my God, that is Courtney Love. I mean, this is 1988, so nobody had any idea who she was, but that was her.
We've also got my pals Fishbone and Angelo Moore all up in there.
The score.
We're making some music for dressing up like cowboys and good stuff. I see the connection definitely between Mike Nesmith and Fishbone. Kind of a little weird, kind of a little funny, kind of a little bit rock and roll.
We'll get there. I mean, except Don Cornelius, who was on like a lot of Soul Train and stuff and whatever. So it's just great. But it's also just such a great 80s like movie. Like it's a guy without even really realizing it at the time while we were living in it. It's like when you look back, you're like, oh my God, there's so many of these 80s tropes, but they're great.
It's a time capsule for sure.
Yeah. Not even just like the fact that they're like, oh, we're going to make music videos, but just in general, there's so many little things, and I'll point them out when we get there. But I also didn't know this because I guess for years I assumed Mike Nesmith directed it, but he did not. He produced it, but it was directed by Bill Fishman, which always makes me think of Newsman Fishman. Another joke that only John will get, but I don't know. Bill Fishman, he's the director. The budget was $3 million, but it only grossed about 350,000 or so.
Yeah, because it was only in the theater for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it got pulled.
Weird.
I can't remember why it got pulled, but
who knows? It's a really interesting thing. It's got obviously Tim Robbins and John Cusack as the leads. Who I didn't know who they were. I knew John Cusack had been in some stuff, but this was like the first I saw of Tim Robbins. Probably he went on to do Bull Durham even later this year, and then many other things since, one or two. I don't know. And he's also on the soundtrack, but not the soundtrack album. He wrote one of the songs, but he's not credited. He's credited as Bob Roberts, which was a movie he was in 4 years later.
Yeah.
So weird. It's called Repave America. So I thought that was kind of, because that's also graffitied on the wall at one point. You know the weird thing? So I went to Spotify to get inspired. I'm like, oh, look up the Tapeheads soundtrack. It's not on there.
What?
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But when I typed it in just to search for it, it gave me like a bunch of Swanky Modes songs. I don't know, not that one.
The DVD came with a CD single of the extended version of Any Ordinary Man. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you made me a copy of the tape at one point.
I most likely did.
Yeah. I bet if you still have that, it's a rare item now because you can't even stream it.
I'm sure I don't have it. I'm sure it was lost in the Great Purge of 2004 when my parents went through everything that was in our attic and basement and threw everything out that wasn't nailed down of mine and my sister's.
Wow. Oh, that's all right.
Then I spent the next 20 years trying to buy everything back that was thrown out.
Oh, that sucks. I do that too.
Oh, yeah, I regret all that stuff. I go like, oh, it's worth so much money now. What are you going to do?
I don't know what happened, but I had like all the baseball cards, like the baseball cards you collect growing up. I had them in a nice like book with like really hard Mylar sleeves, and it's just gone. I have no idea where it is. Mark McGuire in there. Like all that's like 86 tops. It's just gone. My God. I think I left it in an apartment or someone stole it from an apartment. One of those.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, these things happen. When we were growing up, it was those stories like, I used to put my baseball cards in the spokes of my bike so that they would make a cool noise and sound like a motorcycle. And now we're just like, our parents threw it away. Anyway, speaking of parents doing weird things, so the opening scene of Tapeheads is Tim Robbins' character Josh. It's his birthday, and they're showing these like home movies to Betcha Bottom Dollar by the Swanky Modes, one of the characters in this movie as well. But they, it's a quick little thing just to establish like what's going on. He and John Cusack character Ivan, they met as very little kids. They're watching the Swanky Modes on TV, and I love his mom. She says, "Oh, there are those two Negro performers, the Stinky Moods." They're like, whatever happened to them? And like, they're legends. Like, it's just sort of like a life of like weird.
When he's pinning the whatever corsage.
Yeah.
And it stabs her with it. Just shows her getting taken away in an ambulance on their prom night.
Yeah. So the dad, who is this guy, his name is Doug McClure. He's been in like a million things.
Yeah, we watched one of his movies on a bad movie night many years ago.
He's not very good, I don't think. He's like, why didn't you call Stu Beaumont? Which is kind of funny. I feel like every 80s movie had like a name like that, like I think Stu Beaumont. Someone. But anyways, he's like, but I love it. He says, what have you done? Nothing. And he goes over to the cake and like traces a 0 in the frosting.
I have a knowledge drop. They only made one cake, so they had to nail it on that take.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
I don't know much about this movie, but I have a couple things.
That's a good one. I didn't know that one. That's pretty hilarious. It is kind of funny. She's like, what are you doing? You want some cake? And he's like, Dad put his finger in it. So he's not happy with their thing because he just has this lame job in security, and he's like, call Stu Beaumont about a job.
And having worked a security job myself, security jobs are the worst.
I did it for one day when the weird dummiest.
Weirdest of dummies.
It wasn't even that she was weird. She was dumb. But anyway, she did it, and I did it with her for a day, and I fell asleep. I just slept through like most of it. Anyways, so yeah, they're driving to their job in security. Worth noting, their car has one ticket on it on the front.
It's a weird ass car.
It is. I don't even know. I think is that a what do they call that? A golf? Not a golf. There's a name for it. I remember riding in one once. A guy in college I knew had one. If anybody knows out there, you can send it to us on Instagram or something. But anyways, it is kind of funny.
It's like,
yes, it is. Yes. So they're debating, and like Ivan is trying to pump him up. He's like, "Come on, man!" It's like, we have a shitty job, but I know it's a shitty job. You got no ambition. He said, "You need what I got." And Josh says, "Herpes." Oh, balls. So they get to work, and their boss is a hard ass. This is another guy who's been in a lot of stuff. In fact, he was in RoboCop 3.
Yeah, he's in something else that I'd seen sort of recent. I was like, oh, yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
I should really be better prepared for these things, you know?
His name is Lee Arenberg. So if you're keeping score out there.
Norton.
Yeah. So he's like, you're 3 minutes late and whatever. And so when he's distracted talking to Josh, Ivan goes and switches some wires and everything. And
Pirates of the Caribbean is what I know him from.
Oh, all right. He like switches the wires so the cameras can't see what they're doing in the complex. And then he goes out. And Ivan just kicks the door. And he's like, "Come on in, everybody!" And then all these people stream in for Josh's birthday. And it's like, and Josh is like, "What are you doing?" Yes, chaos ensues. So then Josh goes back in to make sure the cameras aren't picking up any of this stuff. And he's like, "Oh, it worked." And the guy goes, he's like, take over, and he leaves. The boss
with a copy of Guns and Ammo, is that what it is, or
yeah,
Soldier of Fortune, or something
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Soldier of Fortune. And like this is like where I could see I know Mike Nesmith didn't direct it, but I know that he was like obsessed with videos, like making videos all through.
Oh yeah, because that was his thing in the 80s and 90s, yeah.
And you could tell like he was like, oh, like just like you would say now, like, oh, put this filter on it. Like he was like, show this machine and have it do this, and have have the mixer do this. I remember playing with those like analog digital mixers and like moving the picture all around and having it like do like
you're down at the local cable access workstation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally like Tim and Eric kind of shit.
Apparently John Cusack had seen Repo Man and sent Mike Nesmith a message saying like, "I loved Repo Man. I want to be in whatever movie you do next."
No kidding. How about that?
Oh, that's a
good knowledge drop.
Thank you. You guys won't believe this. That's a Mike Nesmith movie too. I honestly never seen Repo Man. Yeah, never seen it.
Actually, I think I rented it in the 80s, and I don't remember any of it, and I haven't seen it since.
It's a weird ass movie.
When people make jokes about it, I pretend I know what they're talking about. I know that part.
Like,
I have a million movies like that.
Estevez and that guy Harry Dean Stanton, is that?
Yeah,
that's always in the David Lynch movies. Yeah,
that's a guy. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it's weird. Right. I would do that on the podcast. It's just strange. Right. It's weird.
Put it on the list. Yeah. So, anyways, Ivan comes in, and I love it. I don't know. I say this a lot in my own life. He says, "The DJ has arrived," and he puts in a tape. They start playing the Swanky Modes. They have this. It's not even a secret handshake. I don't even know. Yeah, it's it's like a whole thing that apparently the Modes used to do. But you know what's funny? I never noticed this before either. I've seen this movie like 100 times. When he puts a tape in, he says, "Suck on this, Stu Beaumont." I feel like that was like in the name of someone they knew or something, because they keep using it.
There was Hugh Beaumont that was like Leave It to Beaver. Maybe it was a play.
Oh, maybe that was maybe. So, anyways, yeah, and as you pointed out, Clay, Josh sits down. He's making a video with all this camera equipment that they got, or whatever, video monitoring equipment or whatever. And yeah, and they cut to their boss, Norton. He's on the crapper laughing at Soldier of Fortune.
Yeah.
And he's eating a candy
He's
bar.
eating
I always
a Twinkie.
It's
He's eating like a
Twinkie.
Twinkie or something.
It's so
Yeah,
gross.
it's like just shove it in one end so it comes out the other.
But it's such an 80s thing too. Like, oh, there he is taking a shit, like. And then there's a person in high heels walks in and walks up he's in the stall. The person in high heels walks up to the urinal, and you hear the sound of like, a man peeing. Now, maybe in today's world that's not so, out of the ordinary. We do have gender neutral bathrooms and everything, so whatever. But at the time he was not happy, and he goes back and he says, I saw a UFOP. And he's like, Josh is like, a UFOP? He's like, unidentified female on premises. What is all these females in here or whatever?
What are all these females they're doing here?
So he knows, like, he tells Josh to get out, but Josh grabs the tape as he's being thrown out. And then the guy, he switches the wires back, whatever, he figures out what's going on, and then they are fired.
Well, first thing I think is funny is that John Cusack's like, okay, everybody, Josh wants you to help clean up. And then a bottle is thrown right at his head.
and like a blow up doll or something.
And a skateboarder riding on the side of the wall.
I know, that was pretty good. So yeah, they're at a bar, sort of, they're just drinking their sorrows because they've just been fired. And they're on the TV in the bar is RVTV, which I thought was a great name. It's basically MTV, but I love the song too. It's RVTV. So like, there's a video playing, and Ivan's like, "Oh, look at that!" And he's like, Josh has these kind of rants where he's like, "Stupid, inane, like vapid, zench, pablum, or whatever, something like that." And Ivan's like, yeah, it's all right. You can do that. And he's like, I can do better than that. And then the light bulb behind, like hanging from the ceiling behind Ivan goes off, which is such a monkey's thing, really.
Yeah, that joke got me the first time I saw it. I was like, perfect. Like, this movie just appealed to all my sensibilities back when it came out.
Yeah, and he says, you're right. You could. And so he's like, and then he says, do you know you're a creative genius? And then the people in like the booth behind them start going, like laughing. And he's like, all right. Maybe he's not a genius, but he's certainly creative. And so he says, they're going to make music videos. And it's like, what do we call ourselves? Well, we'll call ourselves the video guy, which I think is weird. The guy
bottoms up, Ace.
Yeah, the guy takes the bartender takes their beer ball and says, bottoms up, Ace. And he says, video aces. That's what we'll call ourselves.
Which isn't really a great name either, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's 1988. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Josh is like, oh, you're so full of shit. But yeah, he's into it. So they go back, I guess, to Ivan's house. It looks like they slept there because they're in their like pajamas. I don't know. But Lyle Alzado is playing his dad.
We always reference this thing.
We do, too. Because he says, you gave up jobs and security for show business? And Josh is like, yeah, but you're in show business. He says, yeah, but that's different. I'm Conan for the Universal Tours. That's a great job, which is what we always say. Yes.
Yeah.
I say it's a great job. But
for
then
every one of me that, there are hundreds that don't make it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. There are, for every guy that makes it, is this thousands.
For every guy who's a Conan.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even, he hasn't even say, I wouldn't even say he's made it. But, but it's a very 80s thing. It says video is the future. Like maybe in a couple years for a little while. And then Lyle Elsie tells Josh to lean into him and just goes, ha! Right in his ear.
Make him eat that syllable.
So a quick note about Lyle Alzado while we're here. We'll probably never, ever talk about him again, but he died at 43, 4 years after this, from a brain tumor, which he attributed to like way too many steroids. Poor guy. Yeah. Like he said, I started doing steroids in 1969 and never stopped.
Oh boy,
good Lord. And he was known on the football field as like a real rough guy. Like he
was really famous for a while.
Yeah. He was on a lot of shows and stuff.
Wasn't he on Saved by the Bell, the college years, or was that some other guy?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he was on like Small Wonder, I think, and some of these, a lot of 80s shows and sitcoms and stuff. But that was after his football career. But yeah, like, he was a badass, and it was probably just roid rage, or roid weird. Yeah. But sad note, well, poor Lala Zeta, but don't do drugs. Then we have this great presidential campaign commercial for this guy Norman Mart, who he says, like, roses are red, violets are blue. The Russians have satellite nuclear weapons. Why can't we too? And then he hands cigarettes to all the kids.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a little scary looking back on it now. I mean, it is funny, but you're like, wow, wait a minute. That seems like something that could happen. Like, that could probably work today if you ran on that campaign.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get. I don't know.
Have you guys ever seen any of like Bobcat Goldthwait's movies that he's directed? They have silly stuff,
but he's
like that in there that are, yeah, he is. And like they have there's kind of like a idiocracy kind of theme to some of his stuff. That was totally like something that could be like a movie that Bobcat Goldthwait made 20 years later.
It is. And we'll get more into. We'll get more into Norman Mart's similarities to today's politics, but we'll get
the guy that played Norman Mart was mainly known for being in like westerns and stuff.
Yes, his name is Clu Gulager. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but
I have no idea how to pronounce it.
He was in a lot of stuff. He was also in a couple of horror movies. He was in The Last Picture Show, and but. He's another one of those actors, like we keep talking about, in a lot of stuff. And he was in a little show called Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Sorry, it's another one of my Homer.
Deep cut.
Anyways, we cut back to Ivan and Josh. They've set up in Josh's parents' house. They've got like a big wire going through the living room like wall.
Josh, what's
that cable doing in my living room? He's not very good. He's really bad.
There's a YouTube channel that I follow. It's Brandon's Cult Movies, and he just did like a month's worth of I was gonna say Troy McClure movies on his channel once.
I kind of was wondering if Troy McClure is kind of based on Doug McClure.
I think it might be a little bit.
Or is that a little too on the nose, having both? I
have a friend, Sean McClure, that Mrs. Elder always refers to as Doug McClure.
Or Troy McClure. Oh,
well, she goes with Doug. She likes to go a little more.
It's a little.
If you know, you know.
I like that. I like that. So anyways, they're trying to shoot videos and make videos, and the thing explodes and the power goes out, and you just hear the dad go, "Get out!" So they're driving around looking for a place to live on their car.
But it's also because they have these gigantic, like, do you remember when the big TV was like a big Sony Trinitron? It's like a big box because it's like CRT. Yeah. They have like all that shit like strapped to their weird Volkswagen. It's like, it's really funny. Like something you see out of like, I don't know, some Hunter S. Thompson thing.
I know, right? I kind of feel like Josh's he's smoking those little, cloves or whatever? Those like funny little, that kind of seems like a Hunter S. Thompson.
These guys both have quite a look. Like I see people dressed like this now. Like I'm growing this weird little mustache for some reason. No reason.
Yeah, I know, right?
Weren't these roles swapped too? I think they were supposed to be the other way around.
Oh, really?
I think so. That. Yeah. And do they also
18
have
again?
18 again?
Oh, is that the
George Burns? I don't know. He said swap.
Do they have more parking tickets on their?
I think they do, because every time they show the car, there are more parking tickets, and that does come up later. So, when they drive to this loft and they go in, and there's a girl in there shooting at a painting with a shotgun, and they're just like, hello, and she's like, oh, hey, what do you think? Like, what is it? I call it destruction of art.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we don't know. She just says her name's Belinda, but basically, her dad owns the loft, so the rent is free. So
that sounds about my
music
price
to Ivan's ears.
Yeah, it's like, we'll take it. Originally, he's like, well, we'll have to we need power and the security. And when she says it's free, he's like, okay. Again, only something that would happen in a movie because no one would ever give you a free love. But anyways,
No.
we
No,
find
a
out
cute-
later who her
Cute girl would not just like have two
Unless you
guy
have rich
strangers.
friends.
Yeah. So they kind of show like
Which I don't.
Belinda's carrying all the stuff and Josh is setting all the stuff up and Ivan's just watching TV, drinking beer. And I don't know if this is an inside joke or something. He's watching sort of like an infomercial and this guy who's like, oh, you can just make money, you know, whatever, doing whatever.
Cash flow. That's the Bobcat
Yeah.
Goldthwait part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A commercial comes on for Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, which is a real restaurant. In fact, there's 7 of them in LA.
Did we
and the
go?
surrounding
Or,
areas.
or did
No,
we just
I
go buy
wanted to
one
go.
and sing the song?
I think we went by it, and I really wanted to go, and for some reason we never made it. I wanted to go.
One day you were really sick.
I know I got really sick on your last day, and I felt bad. But we did have donuts for dinner, but
Yeah, the Iron Man sitting in the donut place.
Your
right?
favorite dish.
it was my favorite dish. Anyways, it's just a guy in a chicken suit being like, "Come on down to Roscoe's," and I
like
was
a
like,
rap.
"This." No, well, we get to the rap.
they
but
make
yeah.
the rap. Yeah.
First, he says like, "Oh, this sucks," and Belinda's like, "Oh, could you do better?" And he's like, "Yeah, I could." So he gets on the phone and calls Roscoe. And this video, this is amazing. I love this thing. It's so hilarious. It's the same guy is now just like this grandmaster.
He's like a rapper in real life or something. Like again, I couldn't keep track of everyone.
It's King Cotton is the guy's name. Yeah. So
He's some sort of performer.
he's some sort of performer, yeah. But I love it. He's like, Roscoe's a name, and they call me the king, grand master of the chicken and the waffle thing. It's so good. He's got these fly girls. It's amazing. I love this.
He does waffle scratching.
Yeah, like on
You've
like
got
a record
stop
player.
motion chicken wings and stuff.
And he like just like does the Mike Nesmith thing and like picks up like a piece of celluloid and like puts it over his mouth while he's rapping, like just a weird like video effect thing.
Yeah, well, it's because it's like read my lips, and like the lips don't match with what he's saying at all. Like his mouth doesn't match up. He takes a big drumstick and hits like a gong. It's amazing. Like I can't even describe how awesome this video is. You know, the commercial airs and everybody, and like Belinda's like, yeah, that's great, you know, but apparently they got paid in chicken and waffles. You know, and like
Like big
Ivan's like,
buckets of chicken in the
Yeah.
studio.
he's like, eat up, man, this stuff's good. And now he says, okay, now we have a reel of our work, so we can show this around and get these big money gigs.
I think of that often.
I do too. We have this weird seance for a dog. This woman is probably famous too, although I can't quite place her. Do you know who this? Does anyone know who this woman is? Who's like, Fluffy, come here, Fluffy. It's just bizarre.
She's probably
seemingly
doing
has no purpose.
A takeoff on what's her face? Who was the one that was in
Dionne Warwick.
No.
What was her name? I don't know who you're talking
well, I
about.
can't. The woman with the red hair, short. She was in the movie with Meryl Streep
That
about
guy
Carrie Fisher's
was
life, and it's just gonna bug me that Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
where she was like big into talking to the dead at one point.
Yeah. But here we have a nice montage of Ivan taking their reel around town, going into different companies and stuff.
This is where a lot of the cameos are. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
really
yeah,
odd
yeah.
because it's back when they had record labels, and record labels had buildings, and they all had like their own, you know, huge LA fucking office building. Capitol
like-
Records,
yeah.
Warner Brothers.
I like
Yeah,
the
and
Mike
he goes
Nesmith,
to Capitol.
the Mike Nesmith cameo.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's-
The best.
and what's your name? Skip. Okay, Skip.
Yeah.
Here's my card. Because
here's my card. And
Yeah,
he gives him a
good.
tape.
Yeah.
And he's like, give us a call. And then Mike Nesmith picks up the water jugs and just walks out.
Yeah, and on the back of it,
was-
it's like spring water delivery. It's
Yeah.
back for sure.
Yeah,
And
he
then
like
we get-
throws the business card away, or he like rips it in half, and is like, whatever, when he leaves.
Yeah. And there's the Ted Nugent scene where he tries to like sneak in with a bunch of people walking back.
It's really
Yeah.
kind of funny the way he does it.
Yeah.
He just slips right in while they're walking into the office as he was sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah, he was sitting in the waiting room. As soon as a bunch of people walked by, he just kind of walked in with him. And then so the next scene, they're throwing him right out, and he's like, "My briefcase," and they just chuck it. So then, yes, and Weird Al, as we brought up, he doesn't even get in. Weird Al just comes out and pushes him. He's like, Weird Al, I knew it was you. And he just pushes him out.
80s Weird Al, not the new improved Weird Al we have now.
Yeah, classic 80s Weird Al. So he goes to this place called Fuzzball Records. He tries to go up in the elevator, but it does not work. And I love it.
And it's funny too, because he just like walks into a building and like looks at the directory and sees there's a record label on it. I think that's how he decides to go up that elevator.
Maybe, yeah.
And the elevator, it gets caught in between floors, and then he like jumps out and there's like a big like hole underneath it. And I was like, that's dangerous.
It's sort
very
of like
dangerous.
It wasn't that Being John Malkovich, also starring John Cusack. Weren't they on the 7.5 floor or something or whatever? But this kind of reminded me, and I don't know if you guys have any experience with this kind of thing, but like many years ago, after I graduated, I was looking for some kind of a job, maybe that could use my degree, like
Conan at Universal Studios.
No, but like you go into like an office and you think like, oh, this is some kind of, and you're like, oh, this place is kind of a dump, you know? You're like, oh, I'm not sure I want to work here. Like, there's like, I remember I went into one, I don't remember what the job was, but it was something, and there was like a phone like on the floor or whatever, you know, and you're just like, oh, this isn't very good.
Not so good.
I don't know if any of you guys have any experience, but anyway.
I'm sure that I did, because I applied for a gazillion jobs in graphics way back in the day.
So yeah, Fuzzball Records is like a small office. There was a woman as the receptionist, and she's just talking on the phone and doesn't pay any attention. So Ivan just walks right by her.
She has these gigantic nails, like huge. Like she can't like even hold the phone in her hand. It's like those girls on TikTok with like huge nails.
Yeah. So he just walks in and talks to the guy who is Mo Fuzz, Don Cornelius. Played by Don Cornelius. I love the window washer guy comes down and he spits on the window and starts to clean it. And then he kind of like waves like Mo Fuzz.
We don't need it today.
Yeah. Like that's how it works. Like window washers like go up to every window. You want your window washed? Yeah.
But then, I mean, he just goes, take it down, and he just like. So anyway, Ivan introduces himself and says, we have a reel here, and he says, I don't need to see it to know that I'm gonna love it. But then I love that he picks up the phone and buzzes the secretary who is sitting right there, and he just says, hold my calls. It's just
and she gives an eye roll.
Yeah. So he says he has a video, like he can shoot a video, but he needs it today, and you could do it on spec. And Ivan's like, spec? He's like, you just do one for free. It's how everybody gets started. And he's like, oh yeah, spec. I know spec. But he says the band that they're going to shoot the video for is Cube Squared. This band has sold more records in Sweden than ABBA. So,
and they're going to be touring the Congo tomorrow.
Yeah, the Congo. So he needs it today. So they go to their loft or whatever, and it's like this weird Robert Plant kind of style video. It's just three guys who look a lot like Duran Duran or something. Like
they look like an 80s pop band.
Yeah, and they start.
It's also like Freeze Frame, Jay Giles.
Yeah, with
they splash all the paint around the white background, or
and then they dump the paint like on them, which is funny. The song is ridiculous. It's such an 80s song too, like the keyboard and everything, and it's just Baby Doll is the name of the song.
It's like in another language, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Swedish or whatever. Yeah, but some of them are in English. But but
throwing feathers.
Yeah, John Cusack blowing feathers.
So that it gets all in the paint, and like then they dump glitter, and then when they dump the glitter, I was like, oh no, oh hell no, that's my worst nightmare.
Oh hell, glitter everywhere. Yeah, and all the.
I think all the explosives and then the fire hose would be my worst nightmare.
That would be. Oh, you're okay with that. But yeah, the fire hoses. But yeah, they do some kind of like, sparkler thing, and everything just blows up. So they bring it to Mo Fuzz, and he says, "Am I crying?" He says, "Well," and they're like, "No." He's like, "Well, it wouldn't surprise me if I was. I was moved." Like, what a weird. But he says, "I can't do anything with this. So I'm gonna." He's like, and they're like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, you need production value." And they're like, well, what sort of production value, do you expect for no money? And he says, there's only one thing that can add real production value: tits and ass, which is two things, but it's still...
and the amount of times that I have said tits and ass, like, like, of course, why didn't I think of that?
I know, like Ivan is like tits and ass. So he's like, I'm going to let you shoot another one on spec, but I'll give you 3 days. So they're like, all right. Then we get this great thing, which I know John and I also quote a lot, just for any occasion, but it's this living will, this like for this old guy. This guy, he says his name is Merlin Hinkle. And so they shoot this thing and they got like cue cards and everything. And then Josh is like, no, we got to do this again. He's like, come on, Merlin, we're talking about your money. Let's see some passion. The passion.
I, Merlin Hinkle, being of sound mind and body, to hereby bequeath to my wife Marion the sum of...
And he dies in the middle, and they're like, is he dead? Like, what are we doing? And Ivan says, yeah, we're not going to get paid. But they do the thing where he moves his mouth, and he's like, okay, like, my wife with the sum of $5,000. And don't forget to pay Video Aces. Like,
they're great guys.
You get a lot for your dollar.
Oh, it's getting late. I had to go to sleep now.
Let's go to sleep now. And then they just run out of there. So it's not going great for them, but they're putting up flyers or whatever, and they get this. Well, we don't know until later how they got this gig. They get a gig at Norman Mart, the guy running for president. At he's having like a party or a ball, I guess they call it.
A fundraiser of sorts, I'm sure.
So they're like, oh, how did we get this gig? And he just says, oh, Belinda got us the gig. She, from putting up the flyers. But we find out later that's probably not what it was. But anyways, so they're walking through the house and they open a door and Norman Mart is in there doing like a creepy sex thing.
It's like, can I go to the ball?
It's like a fairy tale thing, it's weird. I mean, at least
when
the girl
that was the Courtney Love part.
No, she's at the very end, but this girl is a different girl. But this is definitely like his mistress. But yeah, she
like
is
riding him and
do that. You wouldn't do that at a party.
There's like people in your house.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you might get caught.
Adds to the excitement. Anyway, they just shut the door and leave. So, and then we meet his wife, whose name is K Mart, which is the best name for a character ever.
Yeah. And joke won't play now, though.
No, I guess not. Played by Jessica Walters. Oh, the late, great Jessica Walters. So funny.
Go see a Star War.
Yes, that's right. Go see a Star War. Another one we only did one movie of. They're walking through the party, sort of filming everything. They bump into this woman, Samantha Gregory, who is played by Mary Crosby, who is Bing Crosby's daughter, which I didn't know.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Just now. Yes. She writes for Rock Gossip, which I assume is like sort of a magazine, whatever. But
like Kerrang or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. So like Ivan like knocks out her contact lens and he's like feeling her up. He's like, it might be stuck to your body. And he's like running his hands up her.
And he's like, let me try again in 1988 sort of way.
Yeah. Right. So then like she's taking pictures of people and stuff. And this guy comes on and smashes her camera and throws her out. But
could have just taken the film out.
I know. Well, he wanted to make a statement. And there's a security guy who says, where's Belinda? And he says, I don't know, but she wanted me to ask for that $10 you owe her. And the guy's like, huh? And he just goes, 20. He just gives him $20. I'm like, that's pretty good. So meanwhile, Norman's mistress, the blonde woman that they saw doing the weird sex thing, is asking for more money. And he's like, I'm sick of you snorting drapes up your damn nose. And so he's going to like put the squeeze on her. And she's like, oh, I have video of you and those elves. She runs out and the guys chase after her or whatever. As she's running through the party, she runs into Josh. He has a bag of all these tapes because he's videotaping everything. And she puts her tape, the supposed, tape of him and those elves, in his bag. And then she runs off. Norman Mart is talking to security guys and they're like, oh, she didn't have the tape on her and she wouldn't tell us. And he's like, I want you to find that damn tape. So anyway, now we cut to the TNA video, which is literally Just TNA. There is nothing else except a couple pictures of like monkeys or whatever.
And it's not even the Cube Square band. It's just like
it's just some weird song,
yeah.
and it's just pictures of women's butts and tits.
Clothed, women's butts and
clothed, yep.
tits and ass.
And Mo Fuzz is very happy. He says, "Now that's production value." And he says, "I'm going to let you shoot one more. All good things come in threes." And it's going to be on spec again. And they said, "Forget it." And they just walk out. And he says, "Boys, am I crying?"
Me and Mrs. Elder say, "Am I crying?" Quite often to each other.
It's a good one.
And it's really funny when she says it because she tries to do the voice. Am I?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You got to do the voice.
Yeah. Which is funny coming out of like a little lady.
Yeah, that's true. She probably does it better than I do. Now they have this, I guess they shot a funeral sort of off because Josh is editing it. And it's like, is it the Manicotti is the name of the person?
Yeah. Okay. In case you're hungry too.
Was it a mob hit? Maybe? I don't know. But
I mean, it does look kind of like a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, they got hired to shoot it. So, but there's actually people digging a grave and everything. So anyway, so Josh is chatting with Belinda and like there's definitely some like sexual, tension or whatever there. And he says, "Look, my first girlfriend really fucked me up." And she says, "When was that?" "Kindergarten." I feel like that's a real 80s thing too, actually.
Yeah.
Like the main character is, but there's nice, I do want to say, like, even though it seems like Ivan is this money grubbing guy and, Josh is a creative force, they are friends. And Ivan is always trying to like pump him up. And he says like, "What's the point? We keep doing videos, we keep doing jobs on spec and blah, blah." And he just says, "The point is try, man." That's good advice. I like that. Meanwhile, we get the scene with your favorite line, John, I think.
Yeah.
This band, the Blender Children, who Clay took their namesake, and I unfortunately didn't get it. I'm sorry, Dick Slammer. He's mad. He said they've hired
Steve Bader from the Dead Boys, by the way, and little known claynferno fact, if I could insert myself into the conversation here. The Wild Zero band that I was in with those guys that I played with on my birthday, we covered a Dead Boys song.
No kidding.
Thank you very much.
Right. I didn't even know.
I'm not upset that people don't know who the Dead Boys are, but they were a great punk rock band.
Excellent. Well, this guy is very upset that they've hired several directors of their video, and he doesn't like them all, and he thinks they all have their own ideas. Just find me someone who has like I don't want any creative input. But yeah, the guy he's talking to says, "Dick, don't be a cunt."
Yeah, that's my favorite line.
Favorite line of the whole thing.
It's great.
So Samantha is there, and she says, "I know two guys who can do this for you." So they hire them. They come in, and like it's this real hardcore like metal song. I mean, by my standards, I don't know what hardcore metal.
Yeah, it's like a metal.
It's metal.
Punk.
Like the stage kind of looks like a dungeon. It's got skimpily dressed women.
Yeah, they got women like in handcuffs or whatever.
Chained to the wall.
And the lyrics are very 80s metal about like a bomb, and I'm going to drop the bomb, and why don't you drop the bomb, and all that. It's like, that was like basically all of 80s thrash.
Oh, it's great. So like, there's like a crane that like Josh is going to sit up and film, and Ivan's supposed to drive the crane. He's like, "So is there an operating manual?" And they kind of look at him. He's like, "Standard crane." Okay. But he has no idea what he's doing.
Standard crane.
So he has no idea what he's doing. And he drives the crane like onto the stage, and it all like falls down. Everything. It's just, everything falls apart. So they lose that gig too. But I love all these women. This is another thing I kind of think about sometimes. All these like women who were dancing or whatever come up to him, and they're like, "Oh, like, teach me to read."
Yeah, they're all saying stuff. They're like, "Are you famous? Can I be in the video? Teach me to read."
Yeah, what's it? Sign my butt.
Yeah.
So they go to a bar. They go back to the same bar, I guess, and they see the Swanky Modes there, their childhood favorite band, who are now, kind of
the Brothers Diamond.
That's right. The fabulous Brothers Diamond. But they're auditioning
Sam and Dave.
to play in this shitty bar. Like,
So I was watching an interview with Mike Nesmith about this movie, and he said that basically the Swanky Modes were based on an R&B duo from the 60s called Sam and Dave, which Sam Moore
those are their.
was in Sam and Dave. So
Oh,
so there you go.
interesting. I was wondering who they were based on. It almost seemed like they were kind of based on the Monkees, as far as like almost, but like not a washed up band, but a band from a prior era
Yeah.
that were no longer really relevant. Now you can basically see any band, if you try hard enough and look hard enough, like, you know what I mean? Like there's venues where you can go see like a band, like if you wanted to go see Sister Hazel, I'm sure you could find a place. There's a venue right here, a couple towns over, where you could see like Semisonic play with Everclear, probably, or whatever.
Yeah.
But back then, it was probably a little tougher. Josh is like, he's so excited. He's like, look, Billy and Lester, the Swanky Modes. What are they doing here? They should be living like kings, nay, gods.
I think of that one often too.
But yeah, Ivan just kind of like, it's not the way it works, man. He's like, let's buy them a beer. And this always cracks me up, but the bartender says, sorry, boys, Brothers Against Drunk Driving is like it was the name of their, it's like, do you remember, do you guys remember Mothers Against Drunk Driving? I'm sure back in the day, right? Mad.
And Sam,
This is
Students Against
Drunk Driving. Students Against Drunk Driving. And this is Brothers Against Drunk Driving. That's just, so he makes them do this sobriety test before he'll serve them anything. And it's reciting the alphabet backwards, skipping all the vowels, and giving the sign language for each letter. And they do it. It's the most amazing thing. Like,
It is really good.
I wonder how many times they had to rehearse that. It's so ridiculous. So anyway, while they're doing that, they had to do it with their eyes closed. And while they're doing that, the Swanky Modes just leave. So they like open their eyes and they're gone. But meanwhile, on the TV, the news report that the Blender children have died at a concert at the Greek, actually. Is it the Greek Theater?
Which, oddly enough, was the last venue Mike Nesmith played before he passed away.
No.
So apparently, like a satellite misfired or something. It says they all died.
Like pieces of Skylab 3 fell.
Yeah, yes, that was it.
There's this guy.
I know that because I know all about Skylab 3. But I thought that was a
you're a
funny
NASA
thing
guy.
I thought that was a funny thing that they put in there just for me. I laughed.
So I love they're interviewing this guy who's like, he's probably famous too. I don't know, does anyone know who this guy is? But he's like, I'm going to be here front row next show. And the guy's like, there's not going to be a next show. They're all dead. He's like, awesome.
He's doing a blazing soul.
Yeah. So they go home to the loft and Samantha is in there and she says, the Blender children are mulch, which I always thought was a great line. So she's looking for the tape they shot because that is like the only footage that exists of them. And she's like,
Right.
So she's going through their tapes and she finds the Norman Mart tape was red, and she puts it in and plays it, and she's like, ooh. So she like takes that and puts that aside. But meanwhile, Belinda's there. I forgot to mention that there's like, they're getting a weird cat fight. It's very bizarre, but they're not a real cat fight, but they kind of start to.
Yeah, they have to break out like nunchucks and stuff.
Yeah, and like knives and everything. It's so weird. But then they come home and Josh and Ivan come home and he's like, two ninja bitches about to kill each other. Yeah, Samantha, this is when she says the Blender children are mulch and RVTV wants to screen the footage. So Ivan is kind of drunk. He's about to record over the red Norman Mart tape and Samantha says, don't do that. And they says, and Josh said, yeah, tape over the Mangotti, the Mangotti funeral. They never paid us.
Maybe it is
So
Mangotti.
Maybe it is Mangotti.
Doesn't
Whatever.
matter.
He puts the tape in and you can see it just says audio transfer only. And he's like, do you know what you're doing? He's like, yeah. So whatever. They copy the tape. And then they go to the RVTV and like
Classic analog versus digital mistake,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
When
right.
when you're making a dub like that with some SVHS cables, you know? Maybe you're mixing it down from beta to VHS. Who knows?
Yeah. Look at you, Ultimate Clay, getting all the
like
lingo.
90s Ultimate Clay is like, oh, I got into college like 2 years before digital video editing, which could have actually helped me.
Yeah, I was doing all mine on in Bolex cameras.
In camera.
So anyway, RVTV wants to screen us. Josh is like, I can't believe they're doing this sight unseen. He's like, we're ruined. Like, we'll never get another gig. Ivan's like, we don't have any gigs now. Like, whatever. So the tape is the Blender Children song, but the video is the funeral because he only transferred the audio. And it works. Like,
it's all in black and white, so it looks very, it goes with the
artistic, and it's like this metal video with this funeral, like to this funeral. It's just great. Anyway, they're big now because of that, because everybody loves it. So Josh goes back to Belinda and she's like painting. It's kind of funny, but he's like, we got jobs lined up for the rest of our lives. And she's kind of sad because she's like, oh, it's RVTV, and blah, blah, but whatever. This is another one of our favorite scenes, I think. So Ivan is out to dinner with Samantha. They're sort of celebrating, and she's like, I want to talk about us. And he's like, and I want to chew on your thighs.
Actually, he's like, you look ravishing tonight. I'd like to chew on your thighs. And that's how.
And I love it. So she slaps him, and he slaps her right back.
That's how me and Mrs. Elder got together. That was our first date too.
Oh, really? Chewing on her thigh?
Yeah, and then we smacked each other.
There you go. You're still married.
He's like, I feel like I'm on fire, and he sticks his arm catches on fire from
like
the
candle,
which nowadays would just be a tea light.
Some places around here actually do have fire candles. Boston doesn't, but Brookline does. But I love it though. It's really weird. She lists off like Rupert Murdoch, Ted Turner, Connie Chung, and they're kind of like, even Ivan's like, what? But like, she wants to be like these people or whatever. So they go outside, and they're just in like the woods or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but she's like strips down to her nitty gritty, and she's looking pretty good. And so she goes down on him there. I love it. It's like that classic 80s singer. She walks over, she kind of kisses him, and like just kind of sinks down. You hear the zipper. It's like every 80s movie, I think, probably. Not every.
Most. It wasn't
like
in E.T.
The horniest one.
The horny 80s movies, right? And I love it. She's talking about like their relationship, whatever, and he just goes, whatever. He doesn't care. He's getting the song. So they're going to this award show, and they're in the back of this limo, and this guy, he's probably somebody too. And
he's somebody famous too. I can't think of that. I'm not going to look up every person, but he's also. Right.
But he's pitching, he wants to do a live Menudo benefit concert. And they're like, all right, Menudo. But they go to the video awards, and Video Aces wins. Their video, the Blender Children video wins. So they're on TV and like being interviewed, and Norman Mart and Kmart are in bed, and they watch, and she's like, those are the boys I hired for the ball. They never sent the tape. And so Norman gets the idea, like, the tape, that must be where my tape is. He calls his security guys in, and they're in their pajamas. It's just the weirdest thing. And one of them has a teddy bear, just very, very cute. And he's like, go get them. So anyways.
Isn't that cute?
Isn't that cute? The old boss is driving them in their limo now. He's like their limo driver now, and he drives them to that same bar, and the Swanky Modes are playing. Because I guess they got the gig.
Good for them.
And Ivan and Josh are like, oh, you guys are incredible. Oh my God, this is great. This is great. And one of them says, show's over, boys. Drinking time's begun. He just bellies up to the bar. And they're talking about how great they are and everything. And then they just say, you boys buying? And they're like, yeah, of course, set them up. And they order Cuvassiers, which I thought was pretty funny. But and then so Josh gets the idea, we're gonna do a video for them, and we're gonna do a video for you guys. We're gonna get it on RVTV. And then he's like, who wanted to look at us? Look at him. He's ugly. Which is, I think it's a great And like, it's like, no, we have to. You're the ones who taught us everything about soul. If it wasn't for you, we'd be working for multinationals. And then Ivan says, making six figures and driving LeBaron. He says, don't pin that on us. He leaves them their card. And then they leave and they're like, what is that about? And nothing. And they just toss the cart. But as they're driving home in their car, their little Volkswagen, there are more tickets on the dashboard. So just taking notes. And then they just pull these beer bottles out of nowhere. They're driving along and they just outside somewhere. They just get beer. And they say they're going to cancel all their jive job videos. He says, no, except Menudo. So they got to do the Menudo show, I guess. There's these security guys. Those guys that were at Norman Mart's house earlier. They're not in their pajamas anymore. And they start they're looking for the tape in the loft. There's like a weird projection of I don't know, is that Robert Redford or is it somebody famous? But yeah, it's just a cop, and he's like, yeah, and so they start shooting. It's all this like shooting, and Josh and Ivan come home and they're like, what is that? And they're like, he's like, it's my video protector. Like he set up this projection to, I don't know. Anyway, so they go in.
Very convincing looking in the movie.
Yeah, right. Like you would start shooting at that if you were.
Yeah, it's just, oh, there's a screen right here.
Anyway, so they go in like, what are you guys doing? And they pretend to be a band called the Hitmen. And he's like, we'd like a video right now, please. And they're like, oh, we haven't, we're not doing any more of those. And he says, we'll pay 100,000. Or first he says 50, and he's like 100. And he's like, okay. So they're going to pay him 100,000 to shoot this fake video. And Josh is like, we'll do it tomorrow during our coffee break. You bring the donuts. Which I thought was a great line.
Dursin's favorite. You bring
Donuts.
Dursin's favorite dish.
Dursin's favorite dish.
Belinda was all turned on by his show of strength. And then they start making out. And she says, should I get my diaphragm? And he says, damn straight, woman. We're taking a ride in the love train. As Ivan walked the hitmen out to their car, he says, look who I ran into. And it's like the band from the ball. It's basically everyone from the movie previously. And they have this big party going. And then Josh's parents show up. And this is just a weird, subtle joke because there's these like busts outside their office or whatever.
Yeah, it makes it look like it's very official.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God. And when you walk in, it's just the loft, but it says, there's like a thing that says rent a facade on the back. It's just such a great, but they never really bring it up. You have to really be watching. So they walk in and Josh is in the bathtub with Belinda. So they're all offended and they storm off. But the hitmen show up and it's the same car.
Yeah, they screech off in a station wagon, and then a second later the exact same car pulls up behind them.
Yeah. And it's the hitmen. But they also other hitmen pull up behind them. And it's really funny because then three of them are all crowded in the front seat. It's like, why isn't anybody in the back? It's really weird. But he says, okay, we're going to distract them and you search for the tape. And he says, there's a bonus for the man who puts it in my hand, which always works well in these movies, So they go inside. I don't know where all the people from the party went, but that's fine.
It was still that one guy that was like, hey, when the
Oh,
parents
yeah, that's right. They go in, they give him the suitcase full of money and a suitcase full of donuts. And he's like, standard government issue, which I thought was a great thing.
Yeah.
Donuts. They start shooting this video, these two guys, and like one of them is like really into it. He's like dancing, and he's like, they're singing this song, like, don't need no ABCs and everything. It's great. So meanwhile, the other guys who are supposed to be grabbing the tape find it, but they keep fighting each other because they want that bonus. So they finally get it, and the guy's like, okay, we're done. We're good. So they leave. Meanwhile, we cut to a Norman Mart press conference saying, some guy asked him, do you have penis envy for the Russians? He could be president right now. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel like they said penis envy in every horny 80s movie as well.
That's true. It was a big 80s.
They even said penis in E.T. We call them penis breath. So
Penis breath.
We didn't say penis envy. That was definitely an 80s. You don't hear that one anymore, do you? Penis envy. Huh. Interesting. So Samantha Gregory is in that press conference, and she asks if he's a video enthusiast. And he's like, so she's trying to like blackmail him to get a job. Meanwhile, the hitmen come in and they've got the tape. And so they're like, well, we'll show you, like, you can't blackmail us because you don't have the tape. I got the tape. He puts the tape in, and it's the Blender Children video.
The actual Blender video.
Right, the actual Blender Children video. So meanwhile, yeah, Josh and Ivan are talking. They're going to get the Swanky Modes on RVTV. And I love it. They say, like, Menudo is going to be pissed. Like, they're young. They'll get over it. So all these references to Menudo. I thought it was a made-up band for the movie, but they're...
No, you don't remember that?
Ricky Martin was in Menudo.
I know, but at the time...
At the time, just prior to that, they had an ABC Saturday morning cartoon / live action show, I think.
Yeah, and then when they would age out, they replace the band members. Remember that?
Oh, well, I did not remember.
You did know that you were podcasting with two big Menudo fans. We love Menudo.
You knew that.
I was 12.
Menudo. Come on,
knew it.
stop pretending.
You knew Ricky Martin was part
I knew
of Menudo.
Ricky Martin was. I'm just saying, when I was 12, I thought Menudo was a band they made up for the movie. So meanwhile, they show the Swanky Modes there. They're getting ready. They're going to shoot this thing. Or not, they're just preparing. They're not going to shoot it there. But Samantha comes in and she's like, because the hitmen are all after her. And I love Ivan looks out. He's like, hey, it's the hitmen. We just did a video for them.
They're harmless.
Yeah, he's like, hey, guys. And meanwhile, they start shooting at him. And like they're like, what's happening? And he says, no refunds. So meanwhile, the Swanky, they think they just want their $100,000 back. And the Swanky Modes are like, hey, we'll take it out to them. And they're like, we love the Swanky Modes. So anyway,
I like they describe what happens instead of actually. They're walking over.
Yeah, they're handing the suitcase. They're handing it back. They're running away, or they're walking away
at us.
Yeah, no, they're running away because they don't want that. They want the tape. So anyways, so Belinda goes down and she says, what are you doing? I live here. And the guys are all like, oh, sorry. Are you okay? And she's like, get out of here. And they're like, oh my God. So anyways, Samantha grabs the tape again, so now she's got it. So Ivan at the concert, this is the big Menudo concert. But we don't show Menudo, but they show up in a limo and Ivan and Josh just kind of talk to them and they
ask them for their green cards.
Yeah, do you have your green cards? And they don't, and so they say you have to go back to the hotel and get them. Otherwise we could be fined $1,000 per Menudo.
That sounds like something Adam Savage would say. We were busting this myth about Menudo, and it was $1,000 per Menudo.
Per Menudo. And I love they show the crowd, that guy who was talking about from the Blender Children concert. He's in there. He's like sitting there. He's got a suit on.
Yeah, he's got a different look this time around.
Yeah. He's like, I hate to wait. What time is it? What time is it? So, and this is one of my favorite shots of the whole thing. They show Belinda changing the marquee to Swanky Modes and maybe Menudo.
That's funny.
But they're also kind of like, what if the Swanky Modes don't show up? And they're like, they'll be here. So meanwhile, the hitmen drive up in their station wagon, and guy's like, you can't park here. And the guy gets out and beats him up. And then the other guy goes, all right, I'll park it. And he drives off. They drive up, and then Josh's parents drive up in their same car. And all the security guys like, hey, that's the guy. And they beat him up. So meanwhile, and this is an 80s thing, obviously, too. Samantha is on a payphone outside the venue. I don't know why she's doing that, but she's trying to she's like, I have video of a presidential candidate, in a compromising position or whatever. The hitmen see her and they start shooting at her and chasing her, and they chase her all through the thing. They run across the stage and the crowd starts going like, yay. And the guy who was into it earlier when they were shooting the video grabs the mic and starts singing. It's just it's kind of a monkey thing too. I love it.
I like when she runs into the girl from RVTV who's interviewing the celebrities, and she's like, where's Josh and Ivan? She's like, in our out of control room.
Yeah, the out of control booth. Meanwhile, there's 1 minute to the satellite thing, and then Swanky Modes are not there. And they're Josh and Ivan are like, oh shit, what do we do? But there's a great thing, Samantha runs across the stage again, and the hitmen start throwing grenades, which is such a weird thing to do. And the guy from the Blender Children concert's like, awesome. Meanwhile, the guys next to him, like their heads are blown off, which is it's crazy.
That's too bad.
Sam runs into the out of control booth, and she's like, "The guys are after me." And Josh says, or Ivan says, "Why'd you come here?" He's like, "I thought they were like a thing." Anyways, so I love it. They all bust in, and she's got the tape, and she tosses it to like Josh, and Josh tosses Ivan, and Ivan tosses it to one of the hitmen, and then he just tosses it. He's like, "Ah!" Because they're all pointing the guns at whoever has the tape. And then Norman Mart comes in, and he has it, and he's like, "Well, I guess it's over." Because at first they were like, "What's the big deal? That was just some charity ball." And he's like, "No, you fools, this could ruin me. I'd be an insignificant pissant like you." That was a funny thing to say. An insignificant pissant. So Josh is like, "Well, look, if it's so important, maybe we should play it so that you know it's the right one." And he says, "Yes. No, this is nothing fancy."
See, I feel like
so
he's getting a little bit of a thrill showing it off to these people, too.
Yeah, maybe. But he also doesn't want to look bad in front of these like video aces guys. You know, he's like, "This is just a home camera, nothing too fancy." So he puts it in, and yes, we have Courtney Love spanking him, and his bare ass is out there, and it's really weird sex stuff. But it's playing over the air, not just in the booth. And like they show
nationally
another
all over the place, even in the White House.
Affiliates
had Ronald Reagan impersonation.
Yeah, do like a voice.
Well, it was a global broadcast for Menudo, so all over the planet.
So everybody saw it. And Reagan says, "Cancel my appointment with what's his name?" So they cut back to Norman Mart. After Josh tells him what just happened, he says, "Your ass went out to all the network affiliates, and they all have their own copy." And he starts crying, and he's like, "No more politics.
No more cutbacks or kickbacks.
Kickbacks, yeah.
No more kickbacks."
I mean, see how easy it could be to
I want to be president.
A politician who's obviously done bad things.
Back then it was.
I think it'd be even easier now.
You know what? I think everybody be like AI. It's just AI.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you're probably right. Belinda comes in and she's like, "Daddy?" And it's like, "Oh, no." He's like, "This slime dog is your father?"
Slime dog's a weird insult.
Slime dog
millionaire.
Oh,
you guys.
Jinx.
So meanwhile, outside, the crowd is all chanting for Menudo, which is a great thing. Menudo, Menudo. But the Swanky Modes show up in the limo, and the old boss guy,
dramatic fashion.
Yeah,
lightning, thunder.
He's driving. He drives them up and whatever. And then the introduction comes in Spanish, I guess, because it was supposed to be Menudo. Swanky Modes, and they play, and the crowd is going nuts. They sing the song "Any Ordinary Man," and Roscoe's Fly Girls are there on stage with them, just for no reason. The crowd's eating it up, and even Belinda and Samantha, who almost fought earlier, are hanging out now. They're buddies. And the hitmen even come on stage and start dancing. Because I guess they're out of a job, so they're like, "Oh, we better do this showbiz thing." And it's this great happy ending until they're out getting a drink, and the FBI comes to arrest them for broadcasting pornography. Because that guy's bare ass went out over the airwaves. And so one of these FBI guys is Jello Biafra. And as he's arresting him, he says, "Yeah, you guys are done. Remember what we did to Jello Biafra?" And that's him.
Bam.
So, yeah. But actually, they were acquitted of those charges, but they actually are doing time for outstanding traffic warrants.
I liked.
See, I told you.
I liked their version of like the Dragnet music about like, here's what happened to them. It goes like, don't, Josh and him are doing that.
Oh yeah.
It's not quite
narrating. Dang it, yeah,
it's kind of lame, but in a good way.
I agree.
It's almost like People's Court. Don't.
Right. It was kind of burn. So then we get some more great ending credits again sung by Roscoe, King Cotton, the chicken and waffle guy. and it's a great ending credits song. And at the very end of the movie, it says, "By the way, stop in at Renee's Courtyard Cafe."
Yeah.
Did anybody watch?
I
What is
watched all the
that
way to the end. I don't know. And then it's like just static for 35 seconds
I
after
know.
that.
It's so weird. But what is Renee's Courtyard Cafe? Does anybody know what that
We
is?
should have looked it up.
Yeah, I guess we should have. That's Tapeheads. What do we think?
I'll go first because I don't really have much to say.
I'm trying to look up Renee's Courtyard Cafe.
I am too, actually. Oh,
You guys do
closed.
that. I will chat. I like this movie. I thought it was really silly. I didn't really start enjoying it until sort of the end part of the movie when things were making sense a little bit more. But I don't really do have like any memory of ever seeing this movie, so I think I just saw it for the first time here. And I'm sorry, I can't really give it any higher than a B, but I'll give it a B. It's a good one.
That's
I don't know.
respect.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Well, I'm glad you knew more of a lot of the musicians and stuff and famous bands that I did not know.
I did like the showbiz part of it, that because that's like my world, like kind of. But I wished if I had seen this like when I was growing up, I would have probably given it a higher grade. Thank you for your time. Thanks for having me.
Oh, very good. No, B is perfectly respectable. I mean, it's definitely not an A, I don't think, but
It might be.
well, okay. Do you want to
see it?
give it your grade if you want to?
I'm giving it an A.
All right,
It's-
look at that. I stand corrected.
It's endlessly quotable.
Mm.
It's bizarre. It's everything I wanted in a movie when I was, 16. Just I liked movies that didn't make sense, that were just odd and strange, like Amazon Women on the Moon and Kentucky Fried Movie. Just
Yeah.
really just goofball movies and stuff. And this was like my kind of humor, the rent a facade thing. It's a joke you don't get unless you're paying attention. And where they're like looking for apartments and he's like eating a hamburger. He's like, "Do you want some?" And then it just cuts to a close up of the newspaper want ads that Tim Robbins is reading, and just this big blop of ketchup just goes all over. Like that stuff was just hysterical to me, and it's still funny to me. I mean,
Yeah,
my-
very kind of monkeys.
yeah,
Sort of
definitely.
influenced jokes.
My sense of humor then was a little more oddball. Maybe today, if I saw this for the first time, I'd be like, "Oh, just turn this off. It's loud and weird," and but it caught me at the right time. So there you go. And all the cameos and stuff of all these people, I had no idea who they were at the time, and just it was a thing, and I liked it. So, hey,
I love it. Hey, I mean, okay, I think I'm gonna go. Well, it's. I said it can't be an A, but I think it's a B plus for sure. And I think, yeah, you're right. Like this was the kind of humor that we were into back in the day.
we were
and,
making our
like,
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's so just ridiculous, silly.
Tapeheads
Yeah.
begets.
Well, sure, it probably did beget some Dursin Firestar type stuff, like just weird humor.
Miles per
Yeah,
hour,
Miles per Hour was. That's right. That was the name
which
of
was
our
our sort of like
our
which was our-
anthology sort of.
yeah, which was like the aforementioned Kentucky Fried Movie and Amazon Women on the Moon.
Yeah, kind of like just like silliness. Yeah, like when and like I said, a lot of it's very 80s. Like
Oh, this is
type
the,
of
like
stuff.
most 80s movie that you could ever watch.
yeah,
If you want to know what
Right.
the 80s were like, the late 80s, watch this movie.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's pretty funny though. Like now, because it still holds up. It's not. It's dated, but it's more a product of the time, not
Yeah.
necessarily like, oh, that movie wouldn't work now. In fact, it's probably very relevant considering the Norman Mart storyline of the
Yeah.
whole thing. But yeah, just as the other stuff like shooting videos. I remember when I was in college, I had a professor like asked us all like what we were doing there, basically. Like, why are you in film school? And one girl in the class said she wanted to shoot video. She wants to make videos. And he was like, "Shad, you're gonna go far. That's the way to go. Videos." And this is like
And he was-
1997.
He's wrong because there isn't
No,
even MTV is not even around anymore.
I know, but at the time it was, and yeah, RVTV being such like, and that girl, like you said, like she's like, whoa, I'm here backstage at the like whatever.
Well,
She's totally like a VJ.
Martha Quinn from MTV was on there too. We're talking about
I mean, it's crazy. Like, it is very 80s. So, it's definitely a B plus too. It makes me laugh every time, and I still notice things that I never noticed. I mean, of course, I haven't watched it in like 20 years now at this point, but I still picked up on a couple things. I was like, oh, I never noticed that before. But yeah, like the guy in the car, like the cars match, so they beat up the guy. Like the dad instead.
Yeah,
and just,
it's such a dumb
stupid
joke, but it's great.
Right, stupid stuff, but really, really funny. So it's a B plus. Thanks to Mike Nesmith, God rest his soul. But thank you for giving us this movie. It was very funny. And there you go. I guess that's all we got. I don't know what else is there to say.
Nothing.
Classic.
That's what's yeah.
I like the character names and like just the funny jokes. The writing is pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff.
Yeah.
Like Mad Magazine almost.
Yeah, I like that comparison. I guess that was a product of the time too, kind of that. Like I said, a lot of the humor, you don't hear people say penis envy anymore or whatever, or dick, don't be a cunt. You don't really hear people say. It was definitely a product of the time, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Mike Nesmith was into videos and stuff. I'm surprised he didn't do more movies.
He
honestly,
produced several movies.
Oh. So, do we have any other final thoughts?
What did we see here? You said the Courtyard Cafe. Oh, it closed after
2013.
Years. Oh, boy. Oh, Renee. The Case of the Very Greedy Landlord. Classic.
Well, what are we going to do? I'm going to look up Mike Nesmith produced movies. Well, I was just saying Mike Nesmith produced several things like Repo Man, Time Rider, Tapeheads, Elephant Parts, and Square Dance, which I believe starred Rob Lowe in it.
Oh, all right. That's it.
He used to handle the distribution with this Pacific Arts company for PBS and like Ken Burns documentaries. So,
oh, shit.
So he did okay.
All right. Well, then forget what I said.
Yeah, you can edit that part out.
I'll edit. Well,
he didn't direct them necessarily, right?
Like no, but he was a producer on them. So
yeah.
Elephant Parts, I think he had a bigger hand in the creative portion of that because he was in a lot of those sketches. We used to watch that show, Television Parts, when it was on very briefly. Back that, remember Old Yeller, the like 5-second theater with Aaron? It was just an old guy yelling at the screen.
I remember. I guess this wasn't on his other thing, but it was the guy who was shot. He said, "Yeah, bite on this bullet," and the guy like shot himself. Like,
it was like a Western. He's like, "Here, stop the pain, bite on this bullet while I do this." Yeah, and he sets up.
You just hear the gun go off. Basically, yeah, he shot himself.
Good stuff.
He did have a big hand in that. Tall guy, big hand.
Oh, well, go back and listen to our Mike Nesmith episode. Wait, that was like 2020 or something.
2021. He died at the end of 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like December. But anyways, but also, go check out our stuff. Our videos on YouTube and LeaguePodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Just find us League Podcast. We've got a lot of stuff. Clay's making all of our YouTube videos, doing good stuff.
Doing God's work.
Doing God's work, Clay. Spreading the gospel.
I'm like a tape head.
Indeed. You're a creative genius. All right. He's not a genius, but he's definitely creative.
Also,
he's not even creative. He's just putting the stuff we've already done. Just kidding. Thanks to you, though, everybody, for listening. And we'll talk to you later.
Sayonara.
Later, you cunts.
Yo, friends, check this out. Roscoe's the name, and they call me the king. Grandmaster of the chicken and the waffle thing. I sit now, read my lips, and friends, don't miss a word. Cause the grandmaster's gonna give you the bird.
Come to Roscoe's for delicious food.
Yo!
We got you for your attitude.
Now I'm the baddest DJ on the fast food scene. And my food so cheap, you'll lick your plate clean. When I slow down, the ladies all beg.
Roscoe, let me taste your chicken leg.
Come on, fly girls, and wiggle down their bottoms.
Waffles just pancakes with little squares on them.
ZYXWVTSRQPNMLKJHGFDCB.